Hi everyone. So I was trying to decide which way to vote in the EU referendum. As an ex-Muslim, I know what it means to leave a big organisation in which one feels compelled to remain, and live with the consequences of being an outsider. So when fears are expressed by those wishing for the UK to remain part of the EU, an EU which even for its supporters is through its institutions undemocratic, unaccountable, and prone to corruption and in need of reform, I cannot help recall my past as a Muslim, when I felt I needed to cling on to the belief system of Islam, despite my absence of conviction in the absurd tenets of that faith. Trying to support the EU, or being a Remainer, makes me go back to feeling as I did when I was a Muslim about Islam. That is, that I'd be going along day to day, knowing that the entire premise of the enterprise is complete bullshit. If you choose to remain in the EU, I doubt you'll do it with any enthusiasm if you consider how its institutions work. The EU Commission is your all-powerful God, and that's like praying knowing full well there's nothing listening. You end up living a shallow life, being duplicitous and self-delusional. Remainers argue, but we should stay within the EU because it would be easier to reform it from within. I used to think that staying as a Muslim, I could help to reform Islam from within. However, the problem with that approach is that one is forever fighting battles which end up sapping one's time and energy because you're continually being harassed by zealots who view your willingness to remain as your weakness. You're the battered wife who keeps going back to the abusive husband. Remainers argue, but we should stay within the EU because we'd be financially worse off if we left it. Are they for joining the beacon of EU economics that is the euro currency too? And in any case, does the financial benefit outweigh the democratic loss? Of course, the Americans would have us remain in the EU, but then they'd do anything to be able to afford to shuffle a few more hamburgers down their greedy gobs each day. If you don't want a politics which effectively makes an unelected body like the EU Commission more powerful than the directly elected Houses of Parliament, then vote Leave.